The Radio Memories Network is brought to you in part by Liberated Syndication, podcast publishing made easy, libsyn.com. That's libsyn.com. Radio Memories welcomes you to the early days of radio. Join with us now as we go back to the years before television, to the most thrilling days of radio. Radio at its very best. Each Sunday, we journey back in time to the earliest reaches of radio. John Grimmett is our guide on another radio journey. A journey back in time to the 1920s and 30s, an authentic restoration of the earliest surviving radio. Now, here's John.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the radio audience.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Radio Journeys. We're moving into the year 1930. 1930 was an important year in radio broadcasting for many reasons. In the 1920s, radio was very much an on-again, off-again thing, quite literally. Most radio stations signed on in the morning for 2 or 3 hours, signed off about mid-morning, then came on again around 6 p.m. And then in 1930, though, many stations began to run full-time. This meant signing on the air at 6 or 7 in the morning, continuing all day, signing off again sometime between 10 p.m. and midnight. So radio schedules also began to blossom and grow, and we saw the advent of a lot of new programs, such as daytime soap operas, daytime dramas. We're going to hear one of those tonight from 1930, one of the earliest daytime dramas. It's called The Life of Irene Castle. Now, many of the programs that we will hear tonight are really without dates. We're not quite sure when they were actually made or originally recorded and broadcast, so we try to guess. The Life of Irene Castle is one of those shows. We do know that it came from sometime in the early 1930s. Judging by the music, the style of announcing, as well as some of the topics that are being discussed in clothing and fashion, we can assume that it probably came pretty close to the beginning of 1930. Perhaps 1931 at the latest. In any case, we're going to present it to you tonight as a show from 1930. The Life of Irene Castle traces the best-dressed woman in America and her various adventures as she travels throughout America and Europe on drama and musical tours. Irene Castle gives fashion tips, and then she presents another episode in the soap opera, that is the daytime drama plot of her travels around the capitals of Europe. It's a rather quaint little broadcast. It does tend to reflect the social and cultural values of middle-class white America circa 1930, so it's an interesting cultural document as well. It's also the only existing episode of The Life of Irene Castle. This episode is number 4. We don't even really know how many episodes of Irene Castle were released. The Life of Irene Castle from sometime in 1930. After that, The Voice from the Housetops will be the next one we hear, a syndicated music program. Broadcast also sometime in 1930. We'll hear about 10 minutes of it, out of about 15 or 20 minutes total. It is an advertising for a roofing company. And then we move to a date that we do know, the Coca-cola Top Notchers. We have actually 3 broadcasts from the Coca-cola Top Notchers in circulation among collectors and known to historians. We're going to hear the first of these 3 from March 19, 1930. This broadcast features Graham McNamee with Grantland Rice, who does an interview with Ty Cobb, baseball great, one of the earliest great baseball stars. Coca-cola Top Notchers is a radio air check. It was recorded off-air, probably over someone's radio receiver, from WEEI in Boston. We are also playing IDs from WEEI in Boston tonight. These IDs have been edited from the Coca-cola Top Notchers program of March 26, which we'll hear next week. But tonight it is March 19, 1930, with the Coca-cola Top Notchers, and that rounds off this evening of old-time radio programming, all from 1930. So we hope you enjoy tonight's presentation, a full hour of uninterrupted old-time radio, including original radio station IDs. Enjoy.
This is WEEI in Boston.
Again, the rhythmic strains of syndicated walk introduce another episode in the life story of Irene Castle. She who is known throughout the land as the best-dressed woman in America. Before another chapter of this glamorous career is ended, Irene herself will tell you one of the really important secrets of an eternally smart, well-groomed appearance. Surely such a secret will be of great interest to every woman listening to this program, since it comes from the lips of a woman whose varied activities make it imperative that she find a simple and sure way to make the most of her naturally charming appearance. But now let me present to you that many-sided lady herself, Irene Castle.
I must say that many-sided line made me take a quick glance in the mirror to assure myself that I hadn't taken on a couple of sides I didn't know about. However, I'm still intact, thanks to form fit. So let's get along, little story, get along. We've really covered a lot of ground in the first 3 episodes of this True Confessions of mine, haven't we? We've told you about the young days in New Rochelle and about my first job in the theater, thanks to a slim young Britisher who also arranged the second important step in my life, marriage. Then in our last broadcast, we played our final scene with Lou Fields when Vernon and I decided to leave him because he wouldn't let us dance in his show. And then it was we started on the grandest adventure of all, our first trip abroad together, a trip that was to be the beginning of a glorious career. We left New York on the SS Zealand in January 1912 with Zowie, our English bulldog, Walter, father's colored servant, who insisted on going along just for the ride, and $400. These were all of our worldly possessions, besides a contract with a French producer for a revue in which we were to at least be allowed to dance together. Very soon we were to learn that Walter was of far more help to us than Zowie. The 400 and the contract rolled into one. Upon arriving in Paris, our first setback was a fine of 600 francs for having matches and playing cards in our trunks, which put a large dent in our small bankroll. Then, as delay followed delay in the opening of the revue, and we saw our $400 vanishing, we hastened from a too-expensive hotel to the hillside of Montmartre and took shelter in an attic apartment at 44 Rue Saint-Georges. When the show finally opened at the Olympia Theater, Vernon found his part extremely distasteful, since he had to do a burlesque of the beloved Isadora Duncan's eccentric brother. And I found the theater backstage vile and evil-smelling. But we did have one delightful dance number together, in which I was a paper doll and Vernon a tin soldier. But we weren't really happy, so we decided to quit, and with not the slightest idea of what we should do next. At the time we quit, we were doing our own conception of the Texas Tommy and Grizzly Bear. Since these 2 dances had become popular after we left the States, we could only guess as to how they should be done. After our last performance at the Olympia Theater, we hurried merrily to our attic rooms with 28 francs in our pockets and the strains of Alexander's Ragtime Band still ringing in our ears, for it was then the reigning hit on both sides of the water. Yes? Who is it?
C'est moi, Madame Labon. Ouvre la porte.
Oh, yes. Just a minute, madame. Entrez, madame.
Mais dis donc, madame, quand est-ce que vous allez me payer? Chaque jour, vous m'avez promis. Il y a longtemps que vous m'avez pas payé.
Oh, wait, madame, please. You know very well that when you talk so fast, I can't possibly understand you. Besides, you speak quite good enough English to make it clear to me that you would like to have the rent.
Certainement, the rent. It is 4 weeks since you left the theater, and I have not received 1 centime, n'est-ce pas?
Yes, that's right. But I'm sure my husband will have good news when he returns tonight. If only you'll be a little patient.
Patience, sacré bleu, mais c'est impossible.
Wait, I hear someone coming.
C'est bien. It is the husband. Now we shall see.
Yes, we shall, shan't we? Is that you, Vernon?
Right, coming up, darling. Oh, it's a lovely night, darling.
Lovely night, that.
And how is my... Well, hello, Madame Laban. My word, what a picture you are. Très jolie, Madame. Is she not getting younger every day, Irene?
Well, yes, I guess so.
You guess so? Surely the gorgeous sights of her beloved France have not impaired your eyesight, my sweet. Look at her. Here before you stands the true Frenchwoman, smiling. Smile, Madame. That is it. Happy, always happy and generous. Generous to a fault. Especially the young scamps who will take advantage of her generosity. Only think of it, Irene. 4 weeks since we have paid Madame a single centime. And yet does she scold? Does she threaten to put us out? No, not she. Instead, she makes frequent calls to our flat to encourage us in our career. What a woman, Irene, what a woman. I do hope you've been telling Madame Laban how much we think of her. Oh, by the way, the most wonderful chance has come to us. Tonight we'll have a call from Monsieur Beaumont, the well-known vaudeville agent. He's coming here, Irene, to make us an offer. Is it not wonderful, Madame? Oh, be sure to receive him in your very best apron. And now you and I must tidy up the room for Monsieur Beaumont, Irene. For he must not think we're existing only because of the grand generosity of Madame Laban. You will excuse us, will you not, Madame? Unless, of course, there was something you had to say to us. What is that, dear lady?
Oh, no, it was nothing. I will go and put on the apron for the great man.
Ah, do, dear lady, do. For I want him to see you looking your very best. Bonsoir, dear Madame Laban.
Vernon, what is the matter? Why did you groan? Are you in pain?
No, darling, it's just relief from the strain of lying to that old wench.
Lying? But Vernon, isn't Monsieur Beaumont coming?
No, darling. As far as I know, there is no Monsieur Beaumont.
What?
No, I invented him simply because I couldn't bear to hear her rattle on about the rent again. Here, my dear, are 4 potatoes. All I could get for our copper pennies.
You know, those were the last of our copper pennies. The little flannel bag we hoarded them in is empty.
Yes, I know, dear. Have Walter fix the potatoes, and we'll consider what's to be done.
I haven't seen Walter since noon, Vernon. He said he had some business with Alphonse, and he didn't know when he'd be back.
Alphonse? Who's Alphonse?
Well, he's Madame Laban's man. You know him. The valet de chambre.
Oh, that Alphonse. Yes, of course. What business could Walter have with him?
I'm sure I don't know. I only hope Alphonse feeds the poor man. Walter is so big to have to live on potatoes.
Right. It isn't easy for any of us, is it, darling?
Oh, I don't mind. It can't last. And, Vernon, what's the matter tonight? You're not letting our being at liberty get under your skin, are you?
Oh, I don't mind for myself, sweets, but you've been a brick about it all, and it isn't quite fair to take you away from a decent home.
Vernon, the only thing in the world that would make me leave you would be to have you feel sorry for me.
Suppose that's Walter coming up?
No. I'm afraid it sounds like Madame Laban again.
Oh, she's probably seen through our thin story about the fictitious Monsieur Beaumont. I'll go, dear. Entendez, Beaumont. Yes, madame? What can we do for you now?
Monsieur Beaumont.
Beaumont? Beaumont? But, madame, it can't be Beaumont.
Monsieur Castle.
Yes?
These long steps make it very hard for a manager to reach you. Oh, and this is the charming Madame Castle, n'est-ce pas?
Yes, this is Mrs. Castle. Monsieur...
Beaumont, Pierre Beaumont. I saw you dance at the Olympia, and it was très gentil. Oh, Madame, the soul of grace. I have come to offer you the, tryouts at the Café de Paris.
Tryouts?
Lucy Doucet wants the finest artiste, but you two... he will love.
Café de Paris. Oh, Vernon, it's much the nicest place in Paris.
Yes, it is very nice, but, well, we have many offers, Monsieur Beaumont. How much do you think Monsieur Doucet can afford to pay us?
For 2 young people who are unknown in Paris, he will pay enough. Perhaps even 30 francs a night.
30 francs a night. Oh, Vernon.
Yes, it is a shocking figure, isn't it, dear? You see, Monsieur Beaumont, in America, we're already stars, and, well, 30 francs a night.
But you are not in America now, mon ami, and you are still unknown in Paris. However, first you must dance for Monsieur Doucet. Then we shall see.
Well, I suppose we might do that, perhaps tonight?
Oh, no, monsieur, not tonight. Already he has his artist engaged for 2 weeks. Perhaps 2 weeks from tonight.
2 weeks?
Very well. We've not found a much better engagement in the meantime, which, of course, is quite likely. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
May we? In 2 weeks, then, we shall dance for Monsieur Doucet. I will return then. Bonsoir, monsieur. Bonsoir, madame.
Bonsoir. 2 weeks. Good Lord. What are we to do in the meantime?
Don't worry, darling. Something will turn up. It's bound to now. Don't you see how luck has turned? Only think of it. You tell Madame Lebon that Monsieur Beaumont is coming, and presto, there he is.
Yes, that's true, darling. For a moment, I thought the gods were with us, but 2 weeks, we just can't hold out. After tonight, we won't have even potatoes. Poor Walter, I don't blame him for deserting us.
Deserting? Walter? What nonsense, Vernon. He's probably out right now looking for work to help us out. There. You hear that? It's Walter.
More likely Madame Lebon's Alphonse come to chuck our things in the street. She probably heard Beaumont say 2 weeks.
Mr. Castle, will you please bolt the door? This here bundle is sure heavy.
Walter, whatever have you there?
Wait, I'll get it, Walter. My word, Irene, he's robbed the grocery store.
I know so, Mr. Castle, but I sure would have if I hadn't got the money to pay for it.
Look, Vernon, meat. A lovely juicy steak, sprouts and potatoes. And Vernon, it's champagne.
Champagne.
Walter, what have you been doing?
Please don't ask me, Miss Irene. I've got to get me busy on this sharp dinner.
Oh, wait, Walter. You've got to tell us. If you've stolen this stuff, it's quite all right. I'll go to jail for you after I've eaten it. But we've got to know in case the police...
I ain't studying about no police, Master Castle. I've just got to be sure that Alphonse fella don't tell the madam what he done do with his wages.
Walter, what did you do to him?
I ain't done nothing, Miss Irene, excepting that Alphonse want to know how us Americans shoot crap, and I showed him. That's all.
And now, you know how the Castles were supported for the 2 weeks before that fateful engagement at the Café de Paris. Our first appearance there was such an important milestone in the unbelievable career to follow that I think you might be interested to know just what happened. First of all, Mr. Doucet, whom we soon called Papa Louis, was a dear. So when he saw us coming in, Vernon in dress clothes and I in my wedding dress, my only evening gown, he gave us the very best table in the place. The first time, I believe, that a hotel manager had allowed his dancers to appear as guests. I've never doubted that this gesture added 50% to the impression we were able to make during that first performance. But there's more to that story than I have time to tell you now. And then, too, on the next program, I'm going to tell you of the rivalry between the Castles and Maurice and Florence Walton, those exquisite dancers who had long been established when we first began to gain recognition. But for now, there is hardly a minute left, and I do so want to tell you about the great secret of preserving natural charm, the charm Mr. Brickett mentioned in his very flattering introduction of me. It's a very simple formula. Make the most of your natural figure. Don't try to be somebody else. Correct foundation garments are not meant to change your type. They simply make the most of the natural lines of your body and provide a foundation over which your dresses and outer garments will drape gracefully.
Pardon my interruption, Mrs. Castle, but don't you believe the styles and figures change? Now, for instance, from the very slender vogue of 4 or 5 years ago to the present Mae West vogue.
It's a very great mistake, Mr. Brickett, for the individual woman to try and change her type of figure to conform to the type that leads temporarily in national publicity. Personally, I don't favor the Mae West figure, chiefly because I couldn't make the weight. Probably if I were Mae West, I wouldn't favor the Irene Castle figure. But seriously, it doesn't really matter much whether you have the Mae West figure or the Irene Castle figure. The important thing to know is, whatever your proportions, there's always a form fit that will improve your figure.
This is WEEI in Boston.
Yes, sing with rain, for a new roof is done, and now no one complains. Those storms rend the skies, keep dry, and that's why I'm singing, just singing when it rains.
This is the voice from the Housetops, brought to you through the courtesy of the Becker Roofing Company, and boasting the results of a correspondence course. The Becker roofers recall every detail as they play their opening number, I Still Remember. Listen to that thunder. Hear the rain pelting down upon the roof. And speaking of roofs, are you sure the next driving rain won't trickle through your roof to stain the ceilings, crack the plaster, and cause other expensive damage to furniture and rugs? Phone the Becker Roofing Company for a free inspection. If your roof is in good repair, the reliable Becker representative will frankly tell you so. Dealing fairly with you now, he believes you'll patronize him when your roof does need attention. So, call the Becker office nearest your home for a free inspection tomorrow. And next, the Becker voice from the Housetops sings I Worship at Your Shrine, Madame.
At your shrine, Mother, I can't believe you're mine, Mother. My happiness is within your eyes, in your caresses, and in your sighs. The kisses you give me, Mother, will be my rosary, Mother. I'll carry them within my heart, no matter where I am. I worship at your shrine, Mother.
With a full measure of confidence, set to the sparkling tempo of a modern dance tune, the Becker Roofers insist you'll come back to me. just like a torn and battered hat. A roof in need of repair is an eyesore and a health risk. More important, it is a financial risk. For a leaking roof means stained walls and ceilings, cracked and falling plaster, damage to rugs and furniture, which cost far more to repair than the roof itself. If your roof needs repair, it will pay you well to get a Becker free inspection and estimate before you give out the work. Becker quality of materials and workmanship, outstandingly superior. Yet the cost is surprisingly low. Phone the Becker office nearest your home tomorrow, and now you hear the Becker voice from the Housetops singing Blue is the Night from Heart's Desire.
The night above me, blue as your eyes are blue. Bright is the night if you love me as I love you.
This is WEEI in Boston.
Gentlemen of the radio audience, this is Graham McNamee speaking. We bring you a period of delightful entertainment sponsored by Coca-Cola, that pure drink of natural flavors served 9 million times a day. A half hour devoted to popular music and unusual news of sports by Grant and Rice. We dedicate this program to the pause that refreshes. The pause that refreshes, as everybody knows, means to drop your cares for a minute, relax, and enjoy the life and sparkle you find in an ice-cold Coca-Cola. First, a famous song from the famous talkie, Sunny Side Up. I'm a dreamer, aren't we all?
heart comes to fall. She's so charming, sweet and small. It's alarming how I fall. She's ideal, but then she isn't real, and I'm a fool, but aren't we all?
Perhaps you've already realized that you're listening to an orchestra different from any that's ever been on the air. The Coca-Cola Orchestra is an all-string orchestra. It doesn't even have a saxophone. And it's different, too, because it's conducted by Leonard Joy, famous recording artist. Every piece we'll hear this evening is especially arranged just for us. For instance, here is My Gal Sal in a brand new dress. Here's one that bubbles to the brim. Sweeter than sweet. It'll make you want to dance. My brain now as our glances meet. Just a line remains now, my sweeter than sweet. And if I ever lose you, all my dreams are wrecked. You mean the world to me, or words to that effect. Very few love songs that I've ever heard are quite so incomplete, so silly and so absurd.
Main thing is that you are, as I have inferred, my sweeter than sweet.
This one by the Coca-Cola Orchestra is a tango. Rosita, refreshing music that comes to us from the other America. Like Coca-Cola, it had to be good to get where it is. Now we'll let the members of the orchestra pause and refresh themselves while we sit back, relax, and enjoy a special treat. Just the time for an ice-cold bottle of delicious and refreshing Coca-Cola. Standing beside me is a man who is perhaps the world's most famous writer of sports, Grantland Rice. With him is a man whose name is a household word, the idol of baseball fans everywhere. In his day, the keenest batting eye in baseball, star of place hitters, and the fastest base runner. None other than Ty Cobb, the man who has broken practically every record in baseball. Grant Rice will interview Ty Cobb on baseball and the coming season. Grant?
Thanks, Graham. Well, Ty, you faced Walter Johnson's past one when he had more smoke than a burning oil well. Now you're facing the Mike. Which team's the easier?
Well, I think I'll take a chance on Walter. This Mike kind of gives me stage fright.
Well, Ty, you've asked me not to make this too personal, but you have played in more ball games. You have made more hits. You have stolen more bases, and you have scored more runs than any player that ever lived. A record like this is a personal matter with a good many million people. First of all, I would like to ask you the biggest thrill you ever got in any one game.
Well, Grantland, I've played in over 4,000 ball games in the last 25 years, and the biggest thrill I ever got came in a game against the Athletics in 1907. I was only 20 years old then, not quite 21. And it looked as if this game meant the pennant. The Athletics had us beaten with Rube Waddell pitching. They were 2 runs ahead in the 9th inning when I happened to hit a home run that tied the score. This game went 17 innings to a tie. And a few days later, we clinched our first pennant. You can understand what it meant for a 20-year-old country boy to hit a home run off the great Rube in a pennant-winning game with 2 out in the 9th.
Boy, I suppose you've missed the old game a lot, Ty. All the thrills and crowds and the headlines and all.
I thought I would miss it a lot, Graham, but I haven't. It's a great old game, but I've almost felt like a prisoner who was set free.
Just how do you mean, Ty?
Baseball to me was more work than play. In fact, it was all work. You see, I was lucky enough to lead the league when I was 20 years old. After that, I wanted to lead it every year. I never thought I was any genius, so I gave up my life to the game for 25 years. I suppose I was in nearly 30,000 plays, and I at least tried to think about every play and how it should be made. Here's one example. I figured out one play to use against Hal Chase. He used to snap the ball over to third to catch me rounding the bag. I'd always slide back. I had to wait 2 years for the right time to work it. But one day, I just kept on going and managed to score the winning run.
Did you have any set system to work on, Ty?
Yes, my system was all offense. I believed in putting up a mental hazard for the other fellow. If we were 5 or 6 runs ahead, I'd try some wild play, such as going from first to home on a single. This helped to make the other side hurry the play in a close game later on. I worked out all the angles I could think of to keep them guessing and hurrying. Every play was a problem of some sort. That's what I meant by the strain and grind of 25 years.
Who was the best pitcher you ever faced, Ty?
Walter Johnson had more stuff, although Ed Walsh in his prime was a wonder. But the ones who gave me the most trouble were pitchers like Mogridge, Carl Wildman, and Carter, all left-handers who depended more on slow curves and dinky-dinks. They bothered me more than speed or fast curves.
Well, who was the hardest hitter you ever saw?
Well, you can't beat the Babe. Ruth is one of the few who can take a terrific swing and still meet the ball solidly. His timing is perfect. Lajoie was the hardest line hitter I ever saw, and I'd like to see Sam Crawford, Joe Jackson, and Frank Schulte lay against this modern ball. But none of them had the combined eye and power of Ruth.
There's one thing, Ty, I've always wondered about, and so have many others. How did your legs ever stand the strain of more than 4,000 ball games and more than 4,000 hits when you were always at top speed?
Well, in the first place, I always tried to keep in condition. And I can tell all the boys that means everything. For instance, I only ate 2 meals a day. I built up my legs in 2 ways. I hunted all through the winter, frequently walking all day long. I almost lived on my legs. In addition, I always hunted in heavy boots. When the training season opened, I fixed a piece of lead to my shoes. I took the lead off when the pennant race opened, and I felt as if I could run faster. I lost some of the old spring in the last year or 2, but my legs today are as strong as they were. If you want good legs, you have to put them to work. I never gave mine any holidays.
How did you steal so many bases, Ty? There were others just about as fast.
As I said before, you had to do more thinking in the old days when home runs were fewer. Games were close, and every play counted. The 2 most important things in base stealing or getting the jump on the pitcher and making her slide away from the baseman. In stealing bases, I always watched the baseman's eyes to know where the ball was coming. His eyes had to watch the ball. I didn't have the time for this, but his eyes told me, and then I knew where to throw my body away from the baseman.
I am pretty sure, Ty, everybody would like to have you pick the next 2 pennant winners.
For any good pennant-winning ball club, the second year is the easiest to repeat. The Athletics and the Cubs were both good teams, and I think they will be fighting it out again in the next World Series. That's my pick, anyway.
Thanks a lot, Grant, and you, Ty. I believe I can speak for just about everybody when I say I'm looking forward right now to the interview Grant Rice is preparing for next week with another famous figure in the world of sport. And now, off to a fresh start with the Coca-Cola Orchestra playing its own version of Wild Rose. Most of us have forgotten how to waltz. Yet we want the Coca-Cola Orchestra to play for you Sweet Mystery of Life, set to waltz time. We'll just relax again in our easy chairs and enjoy another pause that refreshes. we ready for another dance? Here's one everybody is thirsty for. I'm Following You. A special interpretation by Leonard Joy and the Coca-Cola Orchestra.
The battle won't be half so hard if you've someone to share it. I'll carry half the load for you. What's more, grin and bear it. You're part of my heart. You know that it's true. Wherever you start, I'm following you.
We've just heard the first of the Coca-Cola Top Notchers, featuring Grantland Rice and Ty Cobb with Leonard Joy and the Coca-Cola Orchestra. A program of tingling music and sparkling news of sports, as refreshing as ice-cold Coca-Cola itself. Next week, at this same time, you'll again hear the Coca-Cola Orchestra and Grantland Rice interviewing another top-notcher, Stuart Maiden, the man who taught Bobby Jones to play golf, from the world of sport. Listen in. Everybody's invited. This is Graham McNamee bidding you good night all and refreshing rest. Coca-Cola Top Notchers have come to you from the New York studios of the National Broadcasting Company.
This is WEEI in Boston.
An ID from WEEI in Boston, rounding off this segment of Radio Journeys. Before that, of course, you did hear the Coca-Cola Top Notchers from March 19 of 1930. Now, the Coca-Cola Top Notchers, as I mentioned at the beginning of this program tonight, was originally an air check. It was recorded off WEEI in Boston, probably over someone's home receiver. We don't know who that recorder was, but we are very fortunate to have air checks like this one. Here's a little note about WEEI itself. WEEI was an NBC affiliate in Boston. And what you heard there actually was the famous NBC 8 chime network ID. NBC, as you know, over the years has always had chimes. You can even hear the 3 chimes today over NBC TV. Next week we continue through 1930. We're going to hear another episode of the Coca-cola Top Notchers, as well as some more daytime drama and music programs. Hope to see you next week. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a very good night. I'm John Grimmett. This has been Radio Journeys.